Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 111 of Direwolf20's Modern Skyblock series. Today, my plans are knock out the Tier 6 Mystical Seeds and Cruxes quests. Hopefully they won't be too bad. And that will complete the Mystical Agriculture series of quests, which then will unlock ProjectE for some equivalence to happen. So the goal for today is to get that taken care of, and then we can get an equivalence, which is going to unlock a whole new tier of overpoweredness and fun that we can have in Modern Skyblock. We'll jump probably back into the Dragon's quest line, and these two combined will lead to some really overpowered and crazy designs that will then feed into the overpowered section. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. It's probably one of the first times I'm actually really going to get into Avaricia, so we'll figure out how it works, but it looks pretty cool. Looks like we're going to have some creative levels of resources available to us at some point. So I don't think we'll be able to look up those recipes until we unlock that chapter. So let's get started. First thing into Tier 6 crafting seeds. So to get that, we're going to need crafting seeds. Crafting seeds, right? You start with the base seed, and then you can upgrade them to the different tiers. So what I'm going to do is probably teach you guys all the patterns that need to be taught for this crafting recipe. So it's not too hard to get. The only thing is that we're probably going to have to throw this in here each time that we do it, which is not the end of the world, but definitely something that's going to be a little bit annoying. But we've only got a few to craft, so we should be fine. Just fine. Don't sweat it. Everything will be good. So we got to get some Tier 6 seeds, and then I'm pretty sure each of these, obviously, is going to be a Tier 6 seed crafting recipe. And I don't think they're going to be too bad, but we'll find out in probably about a minute here. I really don't have a super good idea of what to expect, but hopefully it's not too crazy. So that should get me at least up to Tier 5 seeds, which is where Mystical Agriculture itself ends. And then there's an add-on called Mystical Aggradations, right? This one, that adds the Insanium Essence, and that's what you use to upgrade to a Tier 6 seed. So let's get one of each of the Tier 5 seeds. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3 different seeds, right? So let's get 3 Tier 5 seeds, which shouldn't be too bad to craft. And then in addition to that, we're going to need about a dozen more of the essence. So let's just do at mystical, right? Because we're going to need about a dozen of you, which of course uses 3,000 Inferium essence. So that's cool, right? So once we have a dozen of that, we can upgrade him to the Insanium, right? So we basically need to do one of these guys is going to be an Insanium essence. There it is. Cool. I don't need that to be a pattern, though, right? That needs to be in there, and 3 of them. Wait, did I math that wrong? I don't think I mathed that wrong. Did I? Yeah, I did math that wrong, didn't I? I'm going to need a lot more than that, because I need 16 per thing. So I'm going to need a healthy bit more. I'm going to need about 32 more of these. That'll get us our first. But then we're going to need basically 32 more, which needs, wow, we are missing quite a bit of Inferium Essence to get what we need to get. Really? Oh, did I not? Oh, did I do 32? Okay. I'm like, that seems off to me. 8192. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Right, so that should be ding quest complete. Right, yeah, well, not quest complete, but at least that. The Tier 6 seed. And then we can get you. So once you're finished crafting all the Inferium, which is super quick, by the way. That's like a really good, I like that automation that we set up. Right, there's your 8 Inferium, which we can then upgrade this dude to get Tier 6 crafting seeds. And I did, between episodes, throw another Tier 5 seed in here. So this guy is moving at a decent pace. You know what I really need to do? You know what I'm going to do right now? Forget sleeping. I'm going to set up Dragon Egg Mills. So you need one of these, and you need one of these, and we can have a Dragon Egg Mill. And we can have a Dragon Egg. Quest complete! All the GP. All of it. right? You can sit wherever you want. I'm going to pop you down right there with that there. And now we have all the GP available to us, which is cool, right? Which means that you should go back to working during the night. Yay! So previously, our GP that we had from extra utilities was only solar based, and I've been like kind of meaning to get around to making like water mills or something. But then I remembered, wait a minute, we have a dragon egg, and you get 500 GP from a dragon egg, just passively sitting there doing its thing. So that's cool. So now we have like pretty much unlimited extra utilities power, and that means that you know, we'll be getting a healthy influx of essence coming in, courtesy of the Wand of Acceleration, which can now run at night because of that GP. Sweet. All right, so quest-wise, we need Nether Star Seeds, Awakened Draconium Seeds, and Dragon Egg Seeds, right? I don't know how much we really need Dragon Eggs. All right, so for each of these, we're going to need some Insanium. So we're going to need a dozen more Insanium, which is going to be quite a bit more Supremium Essence. So let's get like 32 more of you, right? Because each of these needs 4 Insanium Essence. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of Insanium. But the good news is we only have 3 seeds to craft. This would be a very difficult quest line if we had like a dozen different types. But it doesn't look that bad, right? So this should be enough to do 2, right? So then we're going to need 16 more, which we're a little short on Inferium Essence for. I had a feeling we didn't have quite enough Inferium. I can throw my Inferium ore into the grinder here. You're cooking? Yeah. That gets you a decent amount of Inferium, by the way. Like a really decent amount of Inferium, which is cool, right? So that looks good. So that'll take a few minutes, but while that's cooking, we can go ahead and get our Nether Star Seeds, right? And we can get our Dragon Seeds. And then the final one would be Awakened Draconium Seeds, which I believe we have the Awakened Draconium blocks. So all we really need to do is convert one of them into ingots, and we should be cool. So let's get Essence. So you're, wow, that is just cruising, isn't it? All right, so 16 of these. We need about 1,000 more. So let's come back in about a minute, because after it processes all this, plus all the Wand of Accelerating that we're doing with Essence, we should be fine. All right, let's see if that is enough. Yeah, it is. 4096. Hooray. Right. So we'll drop this dude into here. Boom. And then we can upgrade you to an Awakened Draconium Seed, which is probably the one I'm more interested in having, to be totally honest with you. So for an Awakened Draconium Seed to work, though, this should quest complete. Hooray! One more step closer to ProjectE, which is exciting. For these to work, we need cruxes underneath them. So basically, you put the dirt down, and then underneath the dirt, you put a crux, and that allows the thing to grow. So hopefully, it's not too crazy of a recipe. So Nether Star Crux just needs a block of diamonds, apparently. That ain't too shabby. With 4 of you, which isn't a terrible amount of essence, to be fair. A decent amount, but not a terrible amount, right? So there's your Nether Star Crux. The Awakened Draconium Crux is definitely something I'm interested in. So that also appears to be a block of diamonds. And 4 of you. Which, now I'm starting to be concerned about the amount of Inferium we have, because I suspect that the last one is going to fit the pattern. But we'll find out. Dragon Egg Crux? Yeah, no surprises there. Another block of diamond, and another bit of essence. So we need 1024. So, I mean, it's moving right along, right? Though we are pretty much out of Inferium at this point. So, it's going to be a tight one. Hey, Milk, more Inferium, more. Yeah, awesome. Keep it going, Inferium. Keep it going. All right, 4 more of this. Nice, just barely. Barely made it out alive. Dragon Crux. Bang! Cruxes. Quest complete. And there was much rejoicing. Quest updated. Quest complete. Equivalence. That is hype, dudes. That is I'm a little bit excited about that. After playing this map for so long, having access to something like ProjectE, where you can go like really crazy, does sound like a lot of fun. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to do here, but I'm thinking we get some dirt, right? And grow some awakened draconium. Like, I'd like to at least set up the awakened draconium seed, maybe even the nether star seeds, because sure, why not? You should grow into nether star essence, which then becomes a nether star shard, right? 9 essence becomes a shard, and then 3 shards become a star. Well, that ain't bad. Honestly, not bad at all. So where do we want to like set this dude up? My actual farm is kind of over here, so I could just throw it in this general area, right? Like no reason not to. Like, here's a bunch of stuff that like I never even considered properly having up and running. Right, so we can put you guys away, which is cool. So to get this working, right, what we're going to want to have, so let's do Awakened Draconium, Dragon Egg, Nether Star. Does that sound good? So Awakened Draconium, Dragon Egg, Nether Star. So in theory, you guys should grow. I do have that fancy watering can. Where is it? Yeah, I got a few of them, right? So in theory, you guys should grow. Hey, yeah, you're growing. So the fact that they're growing at all is a good sign. It means that I, set it up properly. And then we got a dragon egg essence. Cool. Awakened Draconium seeds. And Nether Star seeds. Well, that is nifty, isn't it? There's probably some nifty things we can do by way of automation here. So let's take a look at that. So Mystical Agriculture does have a growth accelerator block, which doesn't look too bad to make. Can we like program you in here? I suspect I'm gonna have to teach you how to make these guys though, which isn't a bad and expensive recipe by far. So this apparently works, from what I understand, from what I remember. The growth accelerator basically will make the block above it grow a lot faster. Just the one block above it though, right? So if I wanted like 32 of you, not bad. Can you like actually use proper stone? Yeah, that would be super nice if I had taught you properly. Let's do this. You come over here. And that's better, right? Not a problem. Easy peasy. Right? So the way this works, growth accelerators, grows plants above it faster. And I believe it stacks. And I believe, now this is like from back in like the 1.10 days of Minecraft. It's been a while since I've messed with Mystical Agriculture's growth accelerator, right? There's also growth crystals, but I'm not seeing that in the pack, right? So I'm not entirely sure what's up with that. So we'll see what happens. Let's grab these. And the one I'm most interested in, honestly, is the Awakened Draconium seeds. So in theory, that should speed up the growth of the Awakened Draconium seeds. Now, here's a question. Are you a tile entity? You are not. Good. Because that means I can do build to me. And whoosh. And just build that straight down. So each one of these should be influencing the speed at which this crop can grow. Assuming that these even work on Mystical Aggradations crops, which I can't say for sure. But I mean, that seems like it's doing something, right? Right? I feel like it does. I feel like that seems like it's doing something. Right? So what if I wanted another 30 more? And we got a wood slab. Because that's, I mean, looks like it's doing something, right? Doesn't that look like it's doing something? It does. You're making all the stuffs, right? Yay. So I don't know how close to Y level 0 we are at this point, but it looks like we can go a little further. So let's, you know, be a little silly, have a little fun. So these should all stack, right? And grow just that one seed that much faster. Yeah, that's obviously working to me, right? Because 28%, that's 2 growth ticks, because I think it's 14% per growth iteration, right? 71. Yeah, look how... That's cool. That's cool, right? I'm sure there's other approaches that we could take here, but that's looking pretty good. That is looking pretty good. So if we wanted to get more Awakened Draconium, this is totally an option. So I'm sure there's something that can harvest crops for us in like a very simple way. Like maybe even just a user. Like if we got a mechanical user. Right? Just for fun. Right? Generic click, right click. So like what if we just, it doesn't matter what we put in there. Use item on block. Hey, cool. Vacuum chest, vacuum hopper. I'd like to filter it. So maybe ranged collector of sorts. We just need one of these. So we will whitelist Awakened Draconium here. Right, so as you're growing, that'll ideally get sucked into this thing. Even if I have a magnet on, I think the thing will catch it before it gets into my inventory. Sweet! Alright, so let's come back in a minute. Alright, so Awakened Draconium Essence, coming on in. Now at some point I'll probably ramp this up a little bit more. I just mostly wanted to see how those growth accelerators worked. Like, not how they worked from like, how does it work, but like, how well does it work. And it's alright. It ain't too shabby. Could be better. You need a healthy amount of them, though. To be fair, though, they're not that expensive, so that works too. So anyway, we just did a thing that we kind of glossed over a little bit here in the old quest book. Equivalence. Dun 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 dun. It is time for ProjectE. So those of you following along in my Stoneblock series know that I've been playing with ProjectE a little bit as well over there, but I am definitely excited to get into this. I'm curious if anything specific has been disabled, specifically specific specificities, but we'll find out. We'll find out for sure. Did he disable my buddy the watch? Oh, watch of flowing time is disabled? Fail. Giant fail. Giant fail. Well, that ain't cool. No watch of flowing time? I might need to enable that. Because when you're talking about being ridiculous, that is the item that is super OP and crazy powerful. But we'll see. But anyway, we've got ProjectE unlocked, which is cool, which means we can totally get into some of the ProjectE related stuff. So to get started in Equivalence, we're going to need covalence dusts, and we're also going to need the Philosopher's Stone. So the Philosopher's Stone, ProjectE, let's take a look, requires that. Ta-da! Easy peasy, right? Advancement made, Philosopher's Stone. It can be used to do all kinds of cool crafting recipes, right? To convert one item into another. It's also used to create things like Mobius fuel and alchemical coal. All really good and powerful and nifty items, right? It also has its own built-in crafting table-ish somewhere. I don't know, I have to check the options. Controls for category ProjectE. So extra function C, projectile R, charge V, and armor effects X, and range mode period. Cool. Let me clean up these conflicts. Show conflicts? Oh, that's cool. Okay. Okay, good deal. So let me clean up these projects. So we're going to have to replace the extra function for C, which is the psi key binding, creative mode, toolbar activator, clear grid from crafting tweaks. Evil Craft uses the letter C for stuff. Journey Map uses the letter C for stuff. So many hotkeys. right? So now C's happy, right? ProjectE, I'll clamp the rest off camera real quick. All right, so that should fix all things. So we've got the projectiles, which is cool because it does let you, I think, oh, I need fuel for it, don't I? Coal counts as fuel, doesn't it? ProjectE? Been a while, we'll find out. Hey, yeah, it does. Sweet. Hey, mushroom, I'll take it. So lots of cool things you can do with the Philosopher's Stone, as you can see. But that's step 1 of ProjectE. Step 2, we'll probably be getting a transmutation table. So that is a very easy recipe that I will absolutely jump right on board with. Transmute into that. Boom. What's up? We've got a transmutation table. Sweet. So now we can do EMC conversion for things, right? Like we can teach EMC recipes, assuming that there's an EMC value on the item. You can totally go about like making replicas and duplicates of items. So that's cool. And we'll probably be digging deeply into that. What's the next thing you've got going on here? So lots of things. We could get the tablet, right? So let's pick this up because I think I can upgrade you to the tablet pretty easily, right? Needs dark matter blocks, so we'll get that next. All right, so next quests, I need some alchemical coal. Quest complete. I need some Mobius fuel, which basically means putting this way. Right? And then I need some Aeternalis fuel, which is this. Right? And then I need some alchemical dark matter, which is you basically doing this. Sweet. Okay, cool. So dark matter would be a block of diamonds. Like that. Cool. Now what I'd like to do is make sure to teach the Aeternalis fuel and the dark matter to my EMC tablet. So those of you who may not be familiar with ProjectE, the way it works is every item has an EMC value. Well, that's not true. Most base items from Minecraft and some modded items, if the mod pack author assigned it an EMC value, has an EMC value. And you can basically equivalently exchange from one to the other. So I can put dark matter, which has 139,000 EMC into here, and I can pull out a bunch of Aeternalis fuel, which has, 8,192 EMC each, right? So as I add this to the table here, you see that EMC value over on the left increasing. And once we have enough to create a piece of dark matter, we can go ahead and pull that out. So you can equivalently exchange the different items for the different resources. Pretty cool. So with that taken care of now, the next thing to get is red matter. And what's neat about this is we can totally get ourselves like a bunch of blocks of emerald, for example, and burn them up and get ourselves more dark matter, right? So we can convert emeralds to dark matter to emeralds. Pretty much anything can be converted into anything, provided, of course, that it has an EMC value. So with that taken care of now, I should be able to make some red matter, which is neat. That's good and powerful stuff. Even better. Advancement made, right? And we've got enough resources at this point that we now know how to make all this cool stuff. So with the dark matter taken care of, we should be able to get a tablet soon, but there's all kinds of other cool things that it recommends me to make. So the purpose of this chapter is to be able to get gem armor, which is definitely an expensive bit of ProjectE work, and the energy collector Mark III, also, relatively speaking, expensive. But we're also going to get into some energy condensers and alchemical storage and the Klein star and all that cool stuff that anybody who played EE2 back in the day is probably familiar with. And if you're not, you'll learn about it throughout the next couple episodes. Does that sound cool? So we've got some cool stuff. Got to figure out why the Watch of Flowing Time is disabled, though, because that is like super OP and fun. But like making EMC is what the name of the game is, right? So producing large amounts of EMC is pretty much what we're talking about now. So if I were to, for example, get a bunch of blocks of emeralds and process all this stuff in our sag mill, that should get us a healthy amount of emeralds that we can use to make EMC, right? Like I'm gonna grab 100 blocks of emeralds because we just have tons of emeralds. Right? And emeralds have a decent EMC value, right? Each emerald is 16,000 EMC. It's twice as much as a diamond. There's other blocks that have even more EMC, like nether stars, for example, have a decent amount. I think nether stars are the same as dark matter, so it's 139-ish thousand. but we'll use blocks of emeralds to kickstart our EMC resource production. And we can go from there to make lots of stuff, right? So now we have 15 million EMC, which equates to a lot of dark matter, right? So not too shabby. All the resources that we've been accumulating throughout this entire series will lead to lots and lots and lots and lots of EMC, right? And as we need to get more resources of other types, we can use EMC to get them with nifty tricks. Right, so I think the next step I want to do is get into the covalence stuff, because that is going to unlock some useful things for me. So we're going to get some of you, we're going to get some of you, and we're going to get some of you, and then we can use that to get an alchemical chest, right? So that should quest complete that guy, and then you quest complete the alchemical chest, right? Psst, right? Oh, you need an alchemical bag. Okay, that makes sense. Well, not really, but it makes sense that it's a thing. So before I use that alchemical chest, I'm going to teach it to the ProjectE table. So anytime you're going to want to have more than one of a thing, make sure to teach it by just placing it in the table somewhere. If you don't want it to remember that item anymore, you can unlearn it by doing that. So it like unlearns it. So this table, anytime you put anything in there, it'll learn how to make that item based on the amount of EMC it costs. Now, some things obviously don't have an EMC value, so you can't even put them in the table, right? So redstone conduits, they don't have an EMC value. Levers do. So now we could have like a ton of levers, right? And they're 5 EMC each. But I'm going to unlearn them because I don't think I really need to learn levers. So now alchemical, you want the white bag, right? Yeah. So I'm going to put all this away and get the white bag. I don't think that I need to teach it, but the alchemical bags are just really big inventories. And the alchemical chests equally are just really big inventories, right? So they're pretty cool. Sweet. Knocking out the ProjectE quests. The energy condenser is a super cool thing to have. And I want to have one pretty much right away, so we're going to make that. Boom, right? Energy condensers are great. I'm going to place that in there, and now we know how to make energy condensers. What's cool about energy condensers, basically what they do, is you can target a specific type of item that you want. So say, for example, let's get like some emerald blocks, right? Come here, you. Give me like a stack of these or so. That'll work. So say I wanted to make a bunch of dark matter and make it available for some process or something that we're doing. Or I just wanted to convert a bunch of items into dark matter. I can target dark matter here, and as I place emeralds into the inventory, it'll just convert them directly into dark matter. And as I place anything into the inventory, right, it'll add the EMC value. So for each lever I put in, it'll do +5 EMC. It'll just destroy that item, turn it into pure EMC, and then as we fill up the inventory, we get more and more EMC going, we get lots and lots of dark matter. It's a pretty cool and nifty way to get resources, and it's going to be useful for automation down the line. Now the other thing we need to do is get some red and dark matter blocks if we want to really get cooking with this stuff. So what I think I need to do, we'll teach you back. I want to get the dark matter block, which I think is 4. And the red matter block, which is 4, right? Shiny! And I'm going to put them into the project table. So now we know how to make each. I'm going to get 4 of each of these blocks so that I can upgrade the energy condenser to a Mark II energy condenser, which is basically a better version of the energy condenser. And as a reminder, everything has an EMC value. What's better about this is it has a separate input-output slot, which is cool. And it also processes things more quickly, which is also cool. But we just used a ton of EMC to make this, but it doesn't matter because then I can always just throw it back into the fire, and then boom, we have all that EMC back. So it like EMC, no longer things don't cost anything until you're actually using them. It's kind of like a different way of thinking about how to mess around in this game, right? So I'd also like a collector from ProjectE, and I'd like to complete these quests and knock these all out, right? So to make this, we need a block of diamond, we need some glowstone, and we need a furnace, right? And that'll get us a tier 1 or a Mark 1 energy collector. These things basically generate EMC passively off solar panel, or off solar power, which is cool. Now, how do you not have an EMC value? That's interesting, because you 100% should. You have an EMC value of 8. Glowstone, I'm sure, has like a regular old, EMC value. Diamonds do. Glass does. This really should have an EMC value, and I'm surprised that it doesn't. That's weird to me. Very weird. And I'm not sure why. Not that they're terribly hard to make, each one of these, but usually they have an EMC value, right? So Energy Collector Mark II, which I should probably just put in my inventory so we quest complete that guy. Hooray. And then Energy Collector Mark III. So the 2 generates 12 EMC a second. The 3 generates 40 EMC a second. And that's neat because you basically pop this thing down and he's producing EMC. Cool. Passively producing EMC. Now, if we got an energy condenser and placed it next to it, it would automatically send the EMC into the energy condenser. So if I wanted to passively produce like a stupid amount of levers, for example, I could do that, and it would just start producing levers off the EMC being made in the energy collector. Cool, right? If I wanted to produce passively blocks of diamonds, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. There you go. It'll take a while, but it'll eventually get there, right? We need 147,000 EMC. But that's only one energy collector. We could always have more. And that's something we'll probably play with a little bit. Cool. So definitely excited to have access to this stuff right now. There'll be a lot of fun things to play with. Tier 1 EMC cell. Oh, we've got that mod in here, huh? Interesting. Oh boy, we have to get a tier 8 EMC cell. Filling the network with EMC. That's interesting. Assembling with EMC. I do not know this model that well. EMC cells are from Equivalent Energistics. So it's an applied energistics add-on. Interesting. Not played with it before. Uses covalence dust. That's cool. Also don't have an EMC value in you, which is sad. Advanced EMC assembler, which I assume is responsible. Interesting. Cool. Equivalent Energistics. EMC crystals, which don't have a recipe, it seems. Tier 1 EMC storage. Cool. Alchemical tome. Interesting. So maybe we'll have some instructions. EMC assemblers. Neat. Ultimate EMC assembler. EMC condensers. That's cool. I'm assuming you can like feed items into here to produce EMC, and EMC can be stored. It's kind of neat though. I wonder if there's like an EMC. I don't see like an interface of any kind. That's the only other thing, is I don't see like an interface here that shows me like how much EMC is in the system currently. So we'll probably want to make this, because now I'm like really curious as to how this thing works, right? Tome linked. Oh, cool. Okay. Owner cleared. Tome linked. I don't know what that means. Alchemical tome, huh? Do you like get clicked on that? I assumed this was some kind of instruction guide. It's not at all. It's not. It's definitely not. Shift clicking just clears it, and right clicking links it. Cool. Learned something today. So I think what we're going to do is wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next episode, play a little bit more with this fun stuff, produce lots of EMC. By the way, EMC is tied to the player at all times, so you can freely break your transmutation tablet and replace it, and that EMC value is retained. Because there's going to be an item that we're going to make probably right now. If I just take some of this, right, we can upgrade you to a tablet that's an item version of the table that we had on the ground, right? So now we have a tablet that we can carry around and do all the same things we were doing, just courtesy of this nifty dude, right? So that's cool. So I'm going to unlearn you, and I wouldn't mind unlearning you. That's cool. I like it. All right, Devil's Point signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.